Why did I get my driving license in Georgia, even though I'm living in Germany and I could get my driving license in Germany? And I actually got it later on. But this only happened 1 year after I started doing that. So, first of all, I was doing my driving license in Germany already, and I was already almost done, and I just had practical exam left. And it just took so long for me to get the appointment that I did not get it at all before going for a 5 month trip to South America. I started my process in Germany in May, and in December I planned to do a 5 month South America trip, and I wanted to have at least like some kind of license, at least a scooter. I did not really plan to use the car, but I knew that with my car license I will get a scooter license so I could at least rent a scooter. I was like, May, December, it's a long time. Please, Germany, let's not duck it up. And obviously this happened. I was doing my driving license, and in September I got stuck with this physical practical exam appointment because in Berlin there were not enough examiners. The line is super huge. There are too many people who want to get a driving license, and they're just not managing the whole influx on people who want to do it. Especially there are also lines after 2020. You know what happened. Like they're still recovering basically this whole flow and overflow of potential clients who want to do that. And yeah, so let's say 1st of November, I realized, okay, it's not happening with Germany. I'll not get a license here. Even if I get it today, which is not happening, obviously, it will take them like 4 or 6 weeks to print it, to just print the piece of plastic, right? So I was okay, that's not happening. I need the driving license. What should I do? And I remembered from my previous trip to Georgia, a friend told me that in Georgia, you can get the driving license very fast, and like you just register for a theory exam, and you learn for a theory exam, you practice, and you can take it even as a non-resident in Georgia pretty fast. And they print it right away, same day, if you pay a little bit extra. All legal fees officially, not like, hey, can you please print a little bit faster? Not how it works in Georgia. So yeah, I was like, yeah, let's go. I basically gathered all my things and flew to Georgia, and I took the ticket for like 2 weeks. I was going there and coming back in 2 weeks. Before my South America trip, I should manage this. And I get my driving license for a bike in like 5 days. I practice, I passed the theory test, I passed the practical test, and they're saying, oh, are you doing car license too? People in the police office. And I'm like, hey, is it possible to do it? I just have 1 more week. They're like, yeah, this and this, that could be the strategy, and you can try. And I was like, okay, everyone told me it's impossible, but let's try. So I started trying and figured out that I can also do the car license pretty fast. So I started taking lessons. I already knew how to drive from Germany, so I did not need too many lessons, but I practiced for the specific exams. On Friday, I got my motorbike license. Over the weekend, I was practicing a lot. On Monday, I got my theory exam. I got my first practical exam, and then I started practicing for the city test. I failed my first city test, and in a week I got my second city test, and I passed the second city test. So I got my car and bike license. They're both here on this license. If you can see, licenses A and B, basically A1, B B1 to be very exact, for manual car. And why it was possible so fast? First of all, I don't need residency. So I can do it as a tourist, and that's why you're watching this video as well. Maybe you're interested in getting a driving license abroad, and it's valid all around the world, right? Like 1, 2, except from your country of residency, or if you live in the European Union and cannot exchange it to the European Union license in your country. You can do it in Ireland, Hungary, Romania, like there are some countries. Please just instruct your local driving school. But generally, me as a, let's say, EU resident, I can use it outside the EU. If I go to South Africa, Australia, Canada, like all the countries that have signed Vienna and Geneva conventions, I can use it there with these 2 books. That's my national driving license. So first of all, I can do it without residency. Secondly, there are no mandatory lessons. I only need to drive very well, and I can learn theory by myself online. And if I have this, if I pass all the exams, means I already know how to drive. So they don't require any certificate from the driving school or something, so you could just go there and take the lessons. Third thing is they print it right away. It literally takes half an hour for them to print this thing, to like write all the details here in those 2 little books, like my personal details. In half an hour, you're done. So on the day when I passed, next day I was flying back to Germany. So on the day when I passed, I just paid the money for this. They printed it, and I was so happy. I just like flew back to Germany, celebrating, being triumphant that I managed to get it in like 12 days, basically the car driving license from after I got the motorbike license. So they print it super fast, and you can also take a lot of lessons. There are a lot of different driving schools. We have also English speaking instructors that provide you with, and we have translators. We have managed the process in the way that you can get like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of driving per day with instructors who speak English, so that you can learn very fast, right? So you have the same process that you would do in Germany, maybe like in half a year, you can do in Georgia in 2 weeks, because there are available instructors. There is no influx on clients as they have in Germany, and so on. So we have managed this process super fast. And another great thing that makes it faster, for example, in Germany, if I would fail my first city exam, I would have to pay like 3, 4, maybe 5, maybe more 100 euros to like prepare again, to pay again to my instructor with his car to come to the exam, and so on, to practice, make the mandatory practice lessons. There is nothing like that in Germany. I just wait for 1 more week, pay for the next urgent exam, and then I can retake it, and then I can retake it in a week, and in a week, and in a week. Of course, it's mandatory, not mandatory, it's advisory to practice in between, but it's really, really helpful that you don't have to wait for half a year again, and you're in the back of the line again, and you have to wait for all the others to pass, and like maybe it will take 1 year again to like do this thing. In Ireland, for example, I've heard that you need to wait, you take theory, then you wait half a year until you can register for the city test for the car, and then after this half a year, it takes maybe half a year more or 1 year more to like get a free appointment. So this is incredible and amazing that in Georgia it's possible to get the whole thing in like in 2, 3 weeks, and in Ireland they're even exchanging it without exams, and like outside the EU you can use it anyways right away. And motorbike is even faster, like in 4 or 5 days with practice, also like 2, 3 hours per day, depends on your previous skills, of course. You can also get a motorbike license, and the whole examination process is 1 day, right? If you know the exact things, if you know all the tricks how to do that. So this is the reason why it's so fast in Georgia, and why I decided to do it there myself, and why we're also supporting others to do it in Georgia now, from our side. So if you need any support in that information, and full support, we offer full support from A to Z. We literally take you to all the appointments. We take you everywhere where you need to go, help you to prepare all the documents, and manage everything for you. Support you with English speaking instructors, with translators for parts where people don't speak English, and everything that you need to know. Basically, we support you from A to Z, and manage everything for you, so that you just focus on your work, on learning, on practicing, but don't need to think about any bureaucracy and stuff. Hope this video was helpful for you, and you're now more excited about Georgian driving lessons. Thank you for being with us, and see you in Tbilisi.